All glory to God. Welcome to Father of the Fatherless, Grace and Faith Ministry. Today I want to talk to you about betrayal. And what I mean by that, when you feel that you've trusted somebody and they've taken advantage of you. Many have experienced betrayal from a friend, co-worker, parent, child, spouse, a church, a ministry, a minister, just in general people. And normally it's someone that you trusted with something that you felt betrayed you. Those are usually the situations that hurt the most. And at first I was going to get ready to pray and say, I pray that you never face that situation. But I can't, because sometimes God is sending us on a path where we will face betrayal, and it is to strengthen us. Look at the life, the gospel of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He was betrayed. He was betrayed by Judas with a kiss. Think about Peter, who denied him 3 times. So as I was doing my daily devotional and reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verses 1 through 50, I read about Moses leading the people out of the wilderness. And there was a man that was in Moses' camp called Korah, son of Izhar. He conspired with others to lead a revolt against Moses. This was a rebellious group that united against Moses and Aaron and said to Moses, "What right do you have to act as though you are greater than the rest of the Lord's people?" And he said this to Moses, and I'm thinking as I was reading this, it's from a basis or a place of envy or jealousy, because they saw how God was using Moses in a special way. And Moses had led them out of Egypt where they were slaves. And instead of appreciating that, they conspired against Moses. So when Moses heard these words from this man, Moses fell face down on the ground. And he said, "Tomorrow morning, the Lord will show us who belongs to him and who is holy." The Lord will show us who belongs to him and who is holy. That's what it said in that verse. And when I think about that, I also think about my own life, how I was betrayed. I had a business partner, an employee that betrayed me, that tried to convince certain team members on my team certain things that weren't true. And when I heard this was going on, my flesh had rose up, and I thought about handling things the way I used to handle things when I wasn't with Christ. But now that I am a work in progress, trying to be the best that I can be for Jesus, I got on my knees and prayed. I did what Moses did. And I asked God to vindicate me and not to vindicate myself. I had to decrease so that the Lord would increase. And to make a long story short, in my case, the Lord did come in. He did intervene on my behalf, to the point where this employee ended up leaving the organization. So I want to encourage those who are out there to talk to the Lord, because in the story of Moses, he was conspired against by these men in his camp, and he went to the Lord, and the Lord handled it. Believe me, when you read the verses, the Lord opened up the ground and it swallowed up the people. And Moses tried, to help them. Even in that situation where they were coming against him, Moses pleaded for them. But they were still standing in their wicked ways. So the Lord opened up the ground and it swallowed them whole. So I want to tell you this. As a Christian, we have to realize that we live in a world where we will face betrayal at some point in our life. And when that happens, not to lean onto your own understanding, but to get down in your knees and call on your Father, Abba, because he will rescue you. He will never leave you. He will always be there for you. And make sure that you always stay under his covering and you don't do anything that the devil will have you do. Because once you do that, you're out of alignment. So do the things that God has shown you to do so that you stay in alignment with God and he will fight your battles. So I hope this motivates, encourage those that are listening who may be going through a process of betrayal, that you can call on the name of the Lord and he will be there for you. I hope this was a blessing for you. God bless you and thank you. This is Father of the Fatherless, Grace and Faith Ministry.